Hey everyone, today I'm covering the Hacky Holidays Unlock the City CTF Recover Pet Data Challenge. It was a medium challenge worth 200 points, and the flag itself was gain access to the /admin API endpoint. I'll start things off by launching the backend systems for this challenge. And then I'm going to go ahead and visit the URL, and we'll be introduced with this login page. You can see that our pet data has been locked. So what I'm doing now is opening up Burp Suite, and I'm just going to go ahead and check out some of the resources that my browser has been downloading from this website. I can see here there's an index.js, which seems to power the application itself. Next, I inspect the page itself using the browser, and I'm just looking for little clues and hints as to how the page itself is working. I check over at the console tab. I don't see any console logs being pushed. I'm over here in the application tab now, looking at local storage, session storage, any cookies, things like that. Coming back over here to the page, I see the username and password field and also this register link. So I click on that, and I'm going to go ahead and register a user named a new user, and I'll set the password to the same as the username. And as you can see, that worked just fine. And now I'm back at the login page, and I'm going to go ahead and type in those credentials and see if I can log in. All right, I was able to log in, and I can see the page is now changed to a file listing for upload / a new user. So it looks like we have a file upload prompt. And now that I've authenticated, I'm coming back and checking out the cookies and the local / session storage, and I can see there's this long base64 encoded string. I'm coming back over here to Burp Suite and checking out any other requests that have been made, and I can see that same base64 string here as an authorization header. So immediately this jumps out to me as a JSON web token. And we can confirm that by opening up our command prompt and doing a quick base64 decode. And inside of there, you'll see that we're presented with a multi-part base64 encoded message with some JSON web token metadata. Something else that I really like to do whenever I get a JSON web token is head over to JWT.io and use this debugger application provided by Auth0. And what this lets you do is take a JSON web token, paste it in the encoded portion of this form here, and it'll spit out the decoded version of it. And it spits it out into the header payload parts, and then also allows you to verify signatures using the secrets that JWT was signed with. In this case, I can see some interesting fields, in particular that ISS field, which is an issuer statement provided in that header. And it shows me this rs256.pub file hosted at the static directory on this website. So I'm going to go ahead and reach out to that and see if I can download it. And I was able to, and I can see that it is indeed a public key. Now, my immediate thought with JSON web tokens is, especially in CTFs like this, is some kind of key confusion attack. And that's where you change the algorithm, especially if it's signed with an RS-256 algorithm, meaning that it uses a public and private key pair. That you change the algorithm and you use the public key as the signature for an HMAC-based algorithm, like the HS256 algorithm that I just changed it to. So what I'm doing here now is catting out the public key. I'm going to base64 encode it, and then I'm going to change the algorithm of the JSON web token to HS256. I'm going to set my admin value under the payload to true, and I'm going to paste in here that base64 encoded blob. That is essentially what I'm doing is taking the rs256.pub public key and using it now as the HMAC secret in the HS256 algorithm for signing this JWT token. In theory, I should be able to use this now as my authorization header and access this application with a new value of admin is true. And my hope here now is that I can access the admin URI with that JWT, that modified JWT, using the key confusion attack, and access this restricted page. And unfortunately, that attack didn't seem to work, as we're getting an error, something went wrong, JSON message back. I wanted to confirm that I didn't do anything wrong on using JWT.io for this key confusion attack. So I went online and I found JWT tool as a command line interface for interacting with JSON web tokens. And you can do things like key confusion attacks and alter the JSON web tokens in a command line interface. So I wanted to go through the process again and try a tool that I've used in the past actually, but haven't used extensively necessarily. And this would be my first time going through and trying a key confusion attack specifically using this tool. So again, you'll see in the video here, I'm running through that process, and ultimately I did do the key signature correctly, it appears, and it did not work as I was expecting. So I needed to find a different route. That's when I remembered that ISS value in the header of the JSON web token. And after some quick searching online, I found in the RFC that the ISS value is actually short for an issuer statement. And it says in the RFC itself that the issuer statement is supposed to be a application-specific implementation. So there is no true implementation of how this issuer claim is supposed to be implemented. And that means that this application itself probably has some kind of custom application for this statement. So thinking about it for a little bit, I realized that that public key, if you were to think about it under the context of an issuer, meaning that the public key itself is the thing that says that the signature is valid, what if I upload my own public key, change the issuer statement to point to that public key, and then when I sign it with the private key that I generate, would the backend system use my public key to verify that signature? So in order to test that theory, I needed to upload a file first and see if I can actually download the file after I upload it. So what I'm doing now is I created a test file that says test, test, test in it. I'm going to go ahead and upload that file now. And after doing so, I noticed that there was no link to that file, but I was given a directory that appeared to be where my files might be uploaded. So after browsing to that link and then browsing to those directories and then browsing to test.txt, I confirmed that my file had uploaded there. So now I just need to generate those private and public key pairs and upload the public key and sign my JSON web token with the private key and see if I can access that admin directory. When I went to go upload that generated public key, I found out that they have an extension blacklist or an extension whitelist. So I had already uploaded a text file earlier, so I moved the public key to a text file itself, a .txt extension, and as you can see, it still has the contents of that public key. And I decided to upload that as a text file. from here, I moved back to JWT.io and I replaced that ISS value with the uploaded key path, public key path that I had set. I also changed the algorithm to RS-256 because I'm going to sign this payload with the private key and the public key that I had generated just now. So again, here I'm copying the certificate path, replacing that certificate path in the current issuer claim with my uploaded one. I was having some issues with my clipboard here, so again, that admin value has been modified to true. And I'm back at the command line now, and I'm using some nice bash commands here to copy the data straight into my clipboard. Got the private key here. Paste that in. And my JSON web token is now displayed here on the left, and that's the new one signed with my public and private key. When I swap out the authorization header here with my modified and forged JSON web token, again, I'm dropping it through JSON web token tool here, and we can see those values are correct. Paste that in, burp, and hit send, and bada bing, bada boom, you see the CTF flag right there. So pretty cool challenge from Deloitte, Hacky Holidays, and I learned a lot playing with this and really enjoyed it. So thanks for watching.